willkommen beim Broadleaf Junkie. Lehnt euch zurück, genießt eine gute Zigarre und habt Spaß. Seit sicher 10 Jahren sind die Krummen von Weil hierzulande zu finden. Jetzt präsentieren sie sich auf der Intertabac auf dem International Cigar Pavillion. Scott Lewis, Director of Sales bei Warped, erklärt mir die Hintergedanken dazu.
First off, tell us who you are, why you are here, and who or what you are here for.
I am Scott Lewis. I am the Director of Sales for Warped Cigars. We are a Florida-based, US-based company. This is our first trip to Intertabac. So we are super excited to be here. We've been doing this for about 11 years as you see it here. The owner and blender of all of these products that everyone enjoys, Kyle Gellis, has been doing this for about 19 years. He started off working with factories and selling cigars direct to consumer on like website portals or chat groups or chat rooms for cigars that we had. They've kind of fallen off, but 10, 12, 15 years ago, these internet groups were where people learned everything about boutique cigars. And he started in those rooms selling cigars direct to consumer. And after a while, figured out that he was pretty good at this and rolled it out more of traditional company and distribution. So, like I said, we've been selling cigars as Warped Cigars LLC for about 11, almost 12 years in the U.S. And like I said, this is our kind of first time in Germany at Intertabac, and so this is very exciting for us.
How did you end up in this company?
Interesting story. I've been in sales. I was selling website development. So I was selling kind of smaller corporations' websites, and oddly enough, I met Kyle's mother. I gave her a pitch. I tried to sell her a website, and I gave her a sales pitch. She liked the sales pitch, and she said, "You should talk to my son about working for him with his cigar company. It's new, it's young. I think you would be a great fit there." And I said, "All right, I'll sit down and talk with him." I didn't know a whole heck of a lot about cigars, at that time, but I'll tell you what, it feels like yesterday. The last 10 years have kind of been a blur as we have, really kind of risen to what we are now. We were happy to sell 5-6 boxes, to one person, 10 years ago. Now it's an exponentially different business. We're sold in 18 countries and over 450 retailers in the United States. And, it's just been fun to kind of walk up the stairs, slowly over time.
So you basically were with this brand from the start?
They
somehow.
were... pretty much. They had been operating for about 18 months, like you see it now, before I got the job.
All right. And what is it for you now? Just a job, or is it more? Is it?
No, I fell in love with cigars and kind of the relationships that you get with cigars. That's what this is for me. It's
All right.
I'm relationship driven, and when you're in a lounge with somebody and you're smoking a cigar and just having a wonderful conversation like we are now, that's almost invaluable to me. There's no amount of money you can put on the relationships that come from cigars. I'm very lucky in that I get to do every day what I'm very passionate about. It started off as a job for me, but it's really become a lifestyle.
Speaking of meeting people over a cigar, yesterday I talked to Maya Selva, and she said doesn't matter if the person in front of you is the biggest asshole you've ever seen, as long as you share this cigar as a passion that is common ground.
I would agree with her 100% because, I've smoked cigars with a lot of assholes and enjoyed doing it. So it's very interesting in that you get to meet and connect with people that you probably would not get to when you're in a lounge or at a cigar event with 60, 70 other cigar aficionados, and you're all learning and enjoying the process of being there, learning about the difference between Connecticut broadleaf and regular Connecticut wrapper, when you're talking about wrapper binder fillers and how all those things kind of conjoin together as a unit in a product that we all like. I think the interesting piece for me now, after a decade of doing this, is education. I like to help people learn about what it is that they like about that particular cigar. I don't necessarily care if you're smoking a Warped cigar when I'm talking to you, as long as you're smoking something, and we're enjoying ourselves. As long as we're both, having a good time. It doesn't matter that it doesn't have to be my product. It's just the enjoyment and the satisfaction that you get from the relationship.
If you're talking about education, enjoyment, are you involved in the blending process, or are you?
Oh no.
Okay.
My Kyle is the owner of Warped Cigars, is 110% the blender. I really like not being involved with that because when he brings back samples, I get to taste and enjoy something that I've never had before. My input is very valuable to him, I believe. But as far as the blends go, that's 110% him.
That would have been my next question, if you have any saying in this.
Yeah, I mean, certainly he'll be like, hey, Scotty, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? What size do you think, we should spin off of Cocodrillo? Certainly, I think he values my opinion. But at the end of the day, the tobaccos and the manufacturing process, that's all him. I'm happy to give my input when asked, but you don't tell... you don't tell a painter how to paint.
No, you definitely don't. But when it comes to making a line out of this, there's also other aspects involved, like finding a design, a band. What does this artistry and backstory maybe to the blends mean to you?
Our organization is small and runs, I'm a military guy, and so it runs, everybody has a lane, and his lane is the design and the manufacturing. My lane is the sales and the distribution, and then we have ops people that help push the international paperwork. We have warehouse guys that help facilitate the shipments. But everybody stays within their realm. Again, I've been with him for a decade, so I think, or at least I'd like to think that my opinion holds a little bit more weight than others. But again, it goes back to that artist mentality. That is what he is. He is a creative guy, and not only for cigars, he also has wine brands, has coffee brands. He's obsessed with creation and being the mind behind this logo.
All right, so it's all he does all this stuff.
He does.
Nice.
Yep. He is very technologically driven, does a lot of computer graphic design himself. He's self-taught, which I think is very cool. And the fun part for me, because I'm very analytically driven, I'm a numbers guy. When I do art with my daughter, it's stick figures, so I'm very good at what I do. I'm very good at generating relationships and selling product. Making sure the product is with the right retailers. educating consumers. Again, he's just he's very talented and can't stop creating. So he's developed, through our success in Warped, he's developed other creative outlets in wine and coffee and art to get his fix, because that's his passion.
All right, and now you are here with the brand in order to do what exactly?
Ideally, this was a test. If I'm being honest, and I'd like to be honest, this is a test to see how various European markets respond to our product. We have already sold quite a bit of product in Europe and especially Asia.
All right.
But this was to meet distributors, meet retailers, meet some consumers that are walking around, meet media, and tell the story of this brand and see if it's something that resonates with them. If it is, the end goal would be to do some business.
And how it's going so far?
It's going fantastic. Because we are so United States centered, sometimes you don't realize the reach that you have. I've had so many Germans come up, and Italians as well. We get your cigars from Neptune Cigar in Miami. They do international shipping. We love your product. And if we don't see it on social media, or they don't email us, or send Kyle a comment on an Instagram post, we have no idea. So it's been interesting and also just very rewarding to see how much the European market has already been enjoying our products without kind of having a heavy sales footprint in Europe thus far.
All right. And how much does social media communities like the Cigar Dojo ratings and stuff mean to you as a brand?
Obviously, when you're building something, from the ground up, seeing that award at the end of it, or for instance, this cigar Saunter just got a 93 from Cigar Aficionado. Wonderful rating. Very happy to have it. And this took Kyle almost 2 years to create, between blend testing, in the art piece for the boxes and the bands. So getting that rating on the backside of it is just super fulfilling, because all of that, kind of blood, sweat, and tears that's gone into making this product has been rewarded on the backside.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And how do you navigate through the obstacles in this industry? Is it in the US or in the EU, worldwide?
Well,
how do you deal with this?
I would say that the U.S. market doesn't really present us with any extremely challenging obstacles. Obviously, you worry about things in the U.S. like market saturation, having this shop and this shop next door to each other, and choosing one to be your preferred vendor in that area. But other than that, there's not a whole heck of a lot of challenges. As it pertains to Europe, there is a ton of challenges, from import duties to track and trace, to the paperwork and logistics that it takes to register with each individual country, trying to understand the rules of Bulgaria, Belgium versus Germany. It's just an incredible amount of information to kind of take in, process, and figure out how you want to attack it.
Yeah.
What we've done is hire someone to do it for us. It's and again, that's the transparency piece. We've got great partners in Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic that are very familiar with shipping to Europe, and dealing with the customs declarations and the track and trace and the tax stamps and all of the extra stuff that comes with selling in the EU.
Do you think all this stuff has, just looking at the EU, impact on the cigar culture, the community?
Yes. Oh, for instance, you visit me in Florida. We hop in my truck, we go down to the lounge that's 2 miles away from our factory. You're going to see a lot of the same cigars that you're used to seeing at a Cigar World or through Cope or whatever it is in Germany, but they're going to be half the price. You and I are going to go enjoy 2-3 cigars together, $10 US, $15 US, up to an Opus or whatever you want, $30-35 US. It's just at the end of the day, it's just more cost effective, unfortunately, to be a cigar aficionado in the US versus the EU. Not saying that there aren't wonderful aficionados in the EU, but certainly they're spending more euros than we are dollars, unfortunately.
Yeah,
so that's the main obstacle, is being competitive. Having these cigars be a somewhat similar price in Germany is nearly impossible.
Yeah, I think so.
Do
you think this will someone evaluate over the next 2 to 10 years, or will there be more obstacles coming?
For the US?
For the EU?
I, at this point in our journey with selling cigars in the EU, I would say we're more reactive than proactive.
Okay.
I let guys that have imported and exported millions of cigars tell me how it needs to be done at this point. And we're still in we're a baby. We're learning, just, crawl, walk, run is what we say in the office. We're not here to open 20 countries at one time. We don't even have the bandwidth or the product to make that happen. We're here to get strategic partnerships, people that want to be a partner. We're not looking for transactional relationships. We're looking for partnerships that make sense for both parties, and for people that understand that we are a boutique company and are not, we're not Arturo Fuente. It's, we do what we do, and we do it very well. And we are going to need some help and some knowledge to make the transition into the EU that we want to.
Is it fun?
It is. It's, it's fun for me. My ops guy that handles a lot of the paperwork, I think he might give you a different answer.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is certainly fun. Intertabac is similar, but also very different from our US-based trade show, PCA, Premium Cigar Association trade show that we'll have next year in New Orleans. This is a slower, more methodical process due to the import restrictions and duties, tariffs, track and trace, the registration procedures. It's just maybe a little bit slower sales cycle, but not something that scares us. We're here for the long haul, and we intend to continue to come back to Intertabac, especially after the warm reception that we've received this year. Maybe we come back next year with a larger footprint, more European product offerings. I don't know. I've got to get back to the office, talk with Kyle, and figure out, what our strategy is moving forward. Because, like I said, this was an exploratory trip for us, and I would say it's gone very well thus far.
That's a nice conclusion. So, if you like anything to add on this,
no, I'm
just
good,
do.
Brother. I'm good. We were just talking. That's how I like to do it.
Otherwise, I would say that's it.
Good enough for you?
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, brother.
Über den unten aufgeführten Link könnt ihr noch bis Ende des laufenden Monats vor der EU kommentieren und argumentieren, warum man Zigarren und Zigarillos von der kommenden erhöhten oder drastisch erhöhten Tabaksteuer ausnehmen könnte, sollte, müsste. Wenn ihr mehr von dem Shit wollt, folgt mir einfach, liked, teilt, kommentiert, wenn ihr wollt und genießt eine gute Zigarre.